Hello, everybody, and welcome to a series that I am calling The House That Changed Me. So, in an effort to bring Ghost Gossip back to a very paranormal based, what kind of started this whole thing, I am going to do a little mini series of stories about the house that changed everything. This house changed me. It changed my family. It changed how I saw the paranormal. It changed how I saw myself and my gifts, my abilities that before I didn't think I had any abilities. I would have just said, I'm sensitive or I'm intuitive or I'm observant. I'm hyper observant, which all things are true. However, there are things that have happened since being in this house that have changed everything. And it all started because of this house. So today on episode uno, first, one, we're going to talk about finding this house. These are going to be little short stories only available on social media and YouTube. They will not be available on Spotify or Apple or Amazon. These are just social media based shorts. Hopefully just a few minutes, but y'all know I'm long winded, so good luck to me there. Anyway, the house. When we decided to combine houses, oh gosh, that was something. I had my own house. It was 1,200 square feet. Daniel had his house, which was about 1,600 square feet. And neither one of us were in a position to buy another house without selling the one we were already in. So we had to do this very strategically in order to not put ourselves in a position to where we couldn't afford our life. We decided I needed to sell my house first. So we started in the end of 2020 getting my house ready to list. And in June, I believe the end of May or June 2021, we listed my sweet little house where I was a single mother for 7 years. We listed it and it was bittersweet. Absolutely love that house. And it sold very quickly. It was during the boom of 2021, the housing market boom. And the first week I had like 8 offers on the house and I was so overwhelmed. So we moved into Daniel's house, me and my daughter, and yeah, it was rough because at the time Daniel only had one bathroom and we could not find a house. Like everything in our area, the things that used to cost $200,000 all of a sudden cost $400,000, and the things that cost $300,000 were costing like $600,000. It was ridiculous, and we could not afford $600,000. So we had a very tight budget on our incomes, and it was like we have got to find something within this price range. Needless to say, it took some time. We looked for almost 8 months, and that was such a learning experience. We had 3 children who were all about the same age, between 2 rooms. The girls shared a room. Isaiah had his own room. We had one bathroom. And I remember a few weeks in, I told Daniel, if you do not fix that other bathroom, I will have no other choice but to move out. Like that was my deal breaker. I could not do anymore. I'm not that bougie, but I needed another bathroom. 5 people, one bathroom was nobody should ever have to do that. So if you're doing that, God bless you. You are incredible. And Wonder Woman or Superman, whatever you want to say, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was too much, especially with blended families. And we were now you see us and people don't realize we're blended. And people are like, oh, these are all your kids. They're so beautiful. They look just like you and your husband. I'm like, well, I love that. But, we are blended. But we have blended as a family, and we present more as a family than when we combined houses in 2021, 2022. So yeah, 8 months living in 3-bedroom, 2-bath eventually, 1,600 square feet, children all the same age. Essentially, they're like triplets. I don't live with people well. I never had a roommate. I had my husband's when I was married previously, but I've never had a roommate for good reason. I'm not easy to live with. I'm persnickety. Okay. I like things a certain way. I now know I have OCD, so it makes more sense now. But at the time I didn't know. And so we really were trying to get out of this house and into something bigger. There just wasn't anything. I knew we couldn't go over a certain amount. It would make it impossible to live and we would lose things. And so I was trying to live within our means, and we knew we needed a big house. We knew we needed space, and we had all these like wish lists. And then one day I love when I'm looking for property, I stalk Zillow and Realtor. And so I remember getting this notice about a house in the area. It was like not our first choice, but it was our second. And I got a notice that a house had just hit the market. And I looked at it and I was blown away. Now, the house looked like it was stuck in 1992. Straight out of 90210, like pink, pastel, sponge paint, marble, tile. It was stuck in the 1990s pretty bad. And remember, this was 2021. It was like, okay, it's way outdated. But I saw the vision and I was like, I can make this something. And so I called my realtor and I was like, I'm getting off work. I want to go to this house. There's an open house like right now. And she's like, I'll meet you there. Called Daniel. I was like, Daniel, here's this house. Here's the address. He left a job that he was on. He was doing a side job for his cousin, left the job that he was on in like TR and drove the 40 minutes to the house. We walk in, and y'all, I've always been able to pick up energy. I didn't realize that was a thing, but I've always been able to pick up energy. The house just felt stagnant. It just kind of felt meh, if that makes sense. And I was walking through, it was like a maze. I kept saying, this house is like a maze. And even the realtor, this house is like a maze. And it was really confusing. There were two masters. It was very like discombobulated, but I saw this vision. I was like, I can make this house mine. I didn't pick up on energy other than just stale, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to word it. And so I just went with, it's been closed up for 4 years. It's been vacant for 4 years. I didn't know any of the story. I just knew it had sat empty for a while. And then, yeah, we made an offer. The next day, I was sitting in court and I can't remember if I was on a trial, but I was sitting in court with my judge and I get a text on my phone. And I look down because it's coming through my watch because my phone is on Do Not Disturb, of course. So I look down at my watch and I see it's my realtor. And I'm like, so we go on a break. I rush out the back after my judge leaves, of course, because he goes first. And I'm looking at my phone. I was like, oh my God. So they countered and I countered back and they accepted. It was like, boom. And I was like, oh my God, this house was 5,500 square feet, 3 stories. And I say 3 stories, I include the full basement, which was finished. It was like 1,800 square feet basement, huge basement. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was the beginning of the house that changed me. Come back next time. We're going to talk about the remodel. Thanks for watching. They'll see you later.